everybody, I'm Jason Horton.
And I'm Shane Hartline.
And you're watching and listening to the
Two White Guys Podcast.
We're getting good at this.
Boo-ba-bee-boo-ba.
And we have a very, very special guest, Nikki Limo.
Hi, I am not a guy or a white.
Right.
Or two.
So that means she can be a guest.
Yes. By default, Nikki's a guest.
I like being a guest because when you are a guest somewhere, people have to cook and clean for you and do all that stuff. If you have guests, you have to do that for them, and that sucks.
Before we get to the interview, I must say you have the most amazing pants I've ever seen.
Thank you.
It's the universe pants.
I would say that they're out of this world.
Stop.
Yes.
No, we will. We'll stop right now.
We'll stop
you.
right now.
Thank you.
I mean, I think in the YouTube world, I've known Nikki the longest. Right? The longest, most consistent kind of working relationship,
Me too.
friendship.
Yeah.
Right? Would you say?
Pretty much. I mean, between you and Michael Gallagher.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We all kind of.
But we met through Michael Gallagher, so.
And the first video we did was sexual activity.
Yes, it was. Sexual activity. Mm-hmm. Which was a spoof on Paranormal Activity.
It did really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we had to be in bed. Actually, my boner in it, I think, was just my hand, because I think they tried. I think Michael actually tried using like a dildo.
Yeah.
And I think I was just like, screw. So I was just like, you have to watch the video.
Yeah.
To see it.
And watch the trailer for Paranormal Activity.
Right.
Too.
Oh, you need the internet.
Yes, you have to have the internet
and
a device for the internet,
electricity, and a
America
brain,
Online,
and also the kind of the mentality of a 4-year-old at least.
Yes,
but that's enough.
But yeah, then you're good. Then you can totally like the video.
So you were a stand-up before all of this, right?
Yeah.
That's how you got your start.
Mm-hmm. I started doing stand-up because, acting has always been the main focus, and I started acting when I was 8, and then I got a lot of work from 8 to 10, and then my manager died at 10. Yeah, and I was living in Santa Barbara, and to get new representation, they all wanted.
I feel like if you made him more money, he wouldn't have died.
It was a girl.
Oh well, then there you go.
They wanted me to move to LA, and my parents didn't want to move, so I kind of stopped acting. And then when I wanted to get back into it, when I was 18, and could do things on my own and drive to LA, it just was a lot harder to get back into it at an older age after taking so many years off. So I started doing stand-up because I needed to be performing and doing stuff. I'm just not the type of person to wait for the phone to ring type thing. So yeah, I started writing stand-up and performing it, and then I started writing sketches for MySpace.
Yeah,
and
you were big on MySpace, right?
Yeah, I had one of my videos was featured on the homepage, and then I got a fan base, and then whatever that means, and then a couple more of my videos got featured. But then I used YouTube as a backup for all my MySpace videos. That's how my channel started. I never thought I'd be on YouTube.
That was kind of the same path I took. I was really focused too much, I think, on MySpace.
Yeah.
And
MySpace was never gonna leave.
I just used it
I
to try
thought that. Yeah.
I only use MySpace in a way to try to have sex.
Well, you're older.
And creepier.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
That's
different
your demographic. Yeah.
Fits my demo.
Yeah.
But I mean, you
ASL.
You, like myself, are more known for collaboration and being in other people's videos, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the bigger videos that you've been in are not on your channel.
Right, because I did not understand YouTube as a community when I first got involved. I got basically cast as an actor for Totally Sketch, and then Totally Sketch started working with The Station, which was a conglomerate of all these huge YouTube channels, which I had no idea what that even meant. And they started using me in their videos, and then I just started being an actor on everybody's videos, not even knowing how big those people were.
Maybe if we would have realized back then what it meant, we would have been like, "Hey, make sure you annotate to our channels because we'd be millionaires by now." But we're so stupid. Like, I'll be in your video.
I just want to act, and I need footage from my reel.
Who other than Jason and myself do you actually really like performing with on YouTube?
I like the Totally Sketch cast. So Steve Green, we've done a lot of stuff together. I'd say between Horton and Steve Green, probably the most. And then who else do I work with? I've worked with Shane Dawson, Kasim G. Kasim's really fun to work with too. I make it sound like I only work with guys. I work with girls too. I like girls too. There's not as many in the. I don't know.
Terrence Southern a lot now.
Yeah, that's right. Terrence Southern and Olga K.
That's your new.
Yeah.
jam. And I end up in those videos as like some guy just kind of like, hi, and then I do something stupid. I'm like, bye.
And it's a
That's
huge
his
hit.
bit.
Oh, it's a huge hit. People love seeing me.
The hi bye guy.
When you guys are like, we're just wearing bras, and I'm in there, and they're like, get out of here, you
Hello.
ugly piece of shit.
And we're like, bring us drinks.
Yeah.
Now leave.
But you also have been on the TV shows.
I've been on the TV shows. Not
The
huge,
TV shows.
The TV shows. All of the TVs. On the shows.
All of them.
Not huge parts, but
But you've been, I mean, not
did-
many people make that kind of like, I don't say transition because you were already doing that.
Yeah, I kind of went ass backwards into everything. I just kind of stumbled
Can we talk
into
about like
here.
can we talk about like kind of like your bump in your road, like
Yeah.
because you were on a pretty decent trajectory, and then you had like a
Yeah, I would. Well,
If you're wondering why Nikki is not that popular, or why her channel's not that popular,
Yeah, even though I've been around forever.
Right, yeah.
Because here's what happened. I started in traditional media, right, the film and television world, and had representation. And I mean, a couple of years ago, back in 2009, if we time travel that far back, a lot of kids don't even remember 2009 anymore because they weren't even in high school yet.
I was 43, so
Crazy.
I can remember it.
Anyways, 2009, the film and television industry did not respect YouTube or the internet at all. So it was like anything that I was doing on YouTube was for my reel. It had to be high quality production, which is why I agreed to do stuff with Totally Sketch and the bigger channels that had production. But my manager was like, do not put this on your resume. That we don't want anybody to know that you are on the internet. Basically, it was like a very hush hush thing. It was not good. And then I'm like, and in my head, I'm thinking like, why? The internet is like a revolution in entertainment, and it's making it so easy for independent creators to, put their work out there, and you can do it for a relatively low budget and get a high quality production. And I was just, it didn't make sense to me why it was so shunned. I guess I always felt like the film and television industry would eventually catch on, but I fought, and my representation did not budge on the internet destroying my career. So I wasn't really able to produce content on my channel. I mean, yeah,
You're kind of doing it like in secret.
Yeah,
Like, you're
yeah,
the
yeah.
secret YouTube person.
That's so weird because that's like the way I got representation was
Right?
from YouTube.
Yeah, well, like now it's so like now I go in for an audition and I'm like, oh yeah, I also do YouTube, and they're like, why don't you have any of that on your resume? I'm like, I don't know. I guess
It's
I'll
so
put it
crazy
on
how
there.
quickly it changed.
Yeah, just within the past couple of years, really hit a tipping point. I'd say 50% or more casting directors want to see stuff that I've done on YouTube. So it's kind of crazy how that worked out. But anyway, when I was doing a lot of work with the bigger channels, they would drive to my channel, and I started getting a lot of subscribers from the videos I was in without having any content on my channel. I was up to, I don't know, like 50,000 subscribers with 2 videos on my channel. So
Right.
Jason and I started doing Q&A videos, and that was
They did
just
pretty
like,
well considering how cheap and
Yeah.
the lowest budget possible.
I just didn't want my channel to die. Like I didn't want to lose that audience, but I also wasn't allowed to produce content for my channel without it going through all the
man held
approval
you
process.
down.
Yes, and there were several opportunities I had to turn down that were really big. There's a little channel that rhymes with Schmorsmed. Schmorsmed?
That was a terrible rhyme though.
Schmorsmed.
Yeah. Okay.
Schmilip de Franco. That I couldn't
Why don't you just say
do.
Chillip DeFranco? Okay? And have
Schmady
chill in it.
schmada.
You know what? Don't make fun of my creative process. I have a brilliant mind.
Okay.
And sometimes it doesn't translate to words. So yeah, I had to turn down a lot of opportunities. I had to basically disappear off the face of YouTube, and everyone was
That's
like,
so
where did
stupid.
Nikki go? Like, she was here and she was on everyone's channel, and this girl that we like found out about is gone now.
And what was the time frame again until you like started coming back and doing YouTube?
So
Kind of recently.
yeah, recently I booked some television roles, so it was like, okay, well maybe I made the right choice to not do YouTube because I'm booking television, and I thought, well, now that I've started booking television, I'll just keep booking television. Like I'll have this whole television career. This doesn't work that way. So then when I stopped booking so much work, I was just really sad about the YouTube stuff, and I kept getting offered opportunities on YouTube, And finally, I just hit a breaking point, and I stood up for wanting to be on YouTube. Like, I think this is the wave of the future. I think eventually film and television will merge with the internet. It's already starting to. I mean, you're seeing
everything's going to be one.
This is going to be on
Hulu and original.
This
Netflix.
is going to be on TV, right?
Yeah, yeah. This will be on most embarrassing star moments. Remember when? Flashback. Yeah. So I finally stood up for myself and was like, I want to do YouTube, and I got sued.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, I got sued by my representation. They said that I did a lot of videos without their approval, and it was a breach of contract. So I spent about a year going.
I've never heard of anyone that has gone through this.
No, me neither. You never think it'll happen to you. Plus, I was poor. Who sues poor people? I don't know. That's the wrong person to sue. So yeah, I spent like about a year like kind of going through that and getting back on my feet. And then last year, 2012, towards the end, I was like, I'm really going to commit. I don't have a huge camera. I don't have any production resources, but I'm just going to commit to being consistent on my channel, whether it's vlogs or Q&As or just something, anything to like be consistent on my channel. Meanwhile, I was writing scripts on the chance that I might be able to produce them someday. And within a couple months, I applied to the YouTube space, and they accepted me based on the amount of collaborations I did. That was like their main.
I feel like that because we were the first wave of people to use that space.
And they really banked on they really brought people on that had collaborated. They had you list the amount of collaborations you did.
And you couldn't fit it on.
I was like, here's 76 links, and let me know if you want more. Yeah. So yeah, then started working with the YouTube space in January, and this whole year has been amazing. Like I'm so glad that I decided to stick with my guns and get back into.
I hate that you went through that negative patch.
Me too. It
just sounds like it was so unnecessary. And I've seen so many of like not all representation in Los Angeles, but they like create negativity when it doesn't even need to be there.
Well, they're scared. The film and television industry is scared. Actually the bigger people, because all these kids aren't even buying cable anymore. They're they're turning 18. What do they need cable for? Everything they can get is on the internet. And plus, since they grew up with YouTube, their favorite stars are YouTube stars. Yeah. So they're not watching TV. Therefore, the commercial
YouTube stars are getting TV shows.
Right.
It's crazy.
And that's the way to get their audience over to watching TV again. So you're seeing like advertisers, losing out on that demographic. So they're starting to shift to the internet. And then you see TV and film people being like, oh no, well, we have to go on the internet too. And like all these bigger production companies are starting YouTube channels. They don't know what they're doing really with the new media, but they know they have to be part of the new media, in order to survive. So it's just so funny how things work like that. So yeah, it's out of fear. I feel like my representation just didn't understand at the time, and you kind of get scared of things that you don't understand.
What must be hard is like when you have a video like interactive sex.
Yeah.
Which we did together, not knowing how successful it would be, and it's got to have. It's an interactive video, but the hub video has way over 100 million.
Yeah,
106
million or something.
106 million on just the
hub video.
And then there's 6 videos after
that have like 15 to 20 million.
And we made that kind of. And you were in a rush. You had to go to work.
Yeah, I had to go to work. We had 15 minutes left. I really didn't think we would have time to do the sketch, so I didn't even read the sketch.
Yeah, we're just kind of like, I'm in my bra. I'm crying. I have a small penis. Bye.
It was all improv.
Yeah,
and this is what this scene's about.
Yeah,
and yeah, it did really well. And
you
then
can't use something like that to be like at that time. You can't be like, let me show you what something successful I did.
Exactly, because people would look at it and go, well, that's silly. That's not going to translate anywhere. In fact, that will destroy your career. That will destroy your career is the verbiage that they would use.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm picking myself to ask.
Yes, Jason, go.
As a female, like both in comedy and YouTube, do you feel
Are you talking about yourself, Jason?
Oh, I'm interviewing myself right now.
Yeah, how is that being?
It's tough.
As a female.
But as a female, because females do well online in the sense that like, oh, you're a female. You know what I mean? Like everyone wants to see females, whether it's guys want to see girls or girls want to see girls because they're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of makeup are you wearing? I don't know. I'm generalizing. Yes. But also like can be taken serious comedically. Do you feel like you have to work that much harder, or you have to really put, like when you put up a sketch, like when I throw up a sketch, I throw up any old garbage.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm just a douchey guy.
Yeah, your stuff sucks.
And it sucks. But people have come to expect that suckiness, so I don't have to like lose my mind sometimes if it's not. But do you feel like I have a little more to prove? Or like, women aren't funny, which is still like a stigma.
Yeah, there is a huge stigma in that sense. Also, I would hate for anyone to ever think like, oh, she just banks on being hot or whatever.
Because
like,
you're not, so
because
no
I'm
one would
not.
say that.
I've
But what if somebody
never-
was hot? You know what I mean? That might say that about them.
I mean, I do not want to be considered hot.
Right?
Please,
No, that's fine. It's easy.
do not thank you.
No worries. They're
Thank
not doing
you.
it anyway.
It's like you're the first person that
not
gets
first.
me. You get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is like this balance, because what does well on YouTube isn't necessarily what I think is funny for me personally, comedically, as a comedian or a comedy writer. I feel like the type of comedy, the dark humor that I think is really funny, like Louis C.K. or like or just like weird humor, like
Absurd.
Portlandia or Flight of the Conchords type humor. Like, I like all that kind of stuff that's weird. That doesn't necessarily do that well on YouTube. What does well on YouTube is like the vlogs, like personality, it being a fun girl, maybe not necessarily of the funniest girl, but like a fun girl, which really tore me, because I could do that. That's the persona, though. It wouldn't be me as Nikki Limo. It would be like I started doing that in the beginning, like, oh, this is what sells. So like, hey, look at me. I'm like, so like, I'm cute.
I'm
and
at
bubbly.
Starbucks.
I'm like really
Look at me.
bubbly,
I'm at
but
Starbucks.
that's like a kill. I don't know how Disney people feel, because that killed me inside.
They
So
have
it's
money.
like,
You don't know how they feel because they have a lot of money.
that is true.
So you don't know
I
how
have
they
no
feel.
idea how they feel. I was trying to do what sells rather than what I felt was cool as an artist or whatever. And this year I really just drew a line in the sand. It was like, I'm only gonna do what I think is funny.
And whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what YouTube's there for anyway. I'm not getting hired to do my own channel. Like, if I'm gonna have a channel and put all that time and effort into it and not get money really in return, like we really make pennies, then at least I would like it to be something that I think is funny. And if something happens from it, great. And if not, well, I'm proud of what I put out there to the world.
Just poor though.
Because otherwise you're just gonna die.
I think the YouTube viewer can really tell, like, it translates when someone makes something that they believe in and that they're really connected to. Like the work that you create, I think it translates to the viewer, and I think they
really can sense if you're faking it or not.
Exact. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. And as a girl, I mean, there's always going to be that stigma that girls aren't funny, and I could go on forever about that, because I understand both sides. As terrible as it is to say, I get why that stigma is there. There are girls who aren't funny that try to be funny, and they're just kind of goofy and silly. But there are also a lot of guys that aren't funny. It's just that the pool is so much smaller for girls who are going into the comedy world, that when
They're under a microscope a little bit more.
Yeah, because you see so much fewer of them, that when you do see them, the ratio is the same of unfunny girls to unfunny guys. You're just seeing so much more guys, that there's so much more funny guys than funny girls, if that makes sense. I'm really mathematical.
For me, I think that when I find someone not funny when I can really tell they're forcing something.
Yeah.
You know, when they're just forcing something that you can just tell, like, that's not them.
Right.
That's not them at all.
You mean like Nikki's Twitter? And now's the part that we like to call Tweets on Trial, where we look at your Twitter and then ask you about it.
And then we say, what is this about?
And then it's guilty or not guilty. My Twitter is
we just ask you about it.
And there's a jury, and they vote, or
I'll just
completely original segment.
I'll look at the first one here. It's I ran a 5K with Denise Vlogs and then ate pancakes in this vlog. How is that?
I put a
what is
period
that
at the
about?
end. You sound like I didn't put a punctuation mark.
You ate pancakes while you were running?
No, afterwards.
So did you guys
then
race
ate
each other?
You raced to IHOP?
Just jog together?
No, we ran for ovarian cancer awareness.
Yeah, I feel bad
research.
now. Ooh.
Yeah. Feel like a douche now. Thank you. And then I was like, wow, we burned a lot of calories. Let's eat pancakes. Because
So you burned like 150 calories, so then you ate 800 calories.
yeah.
Cool, that's good math.
I don't want to be one of those
That's how
stick
everybody
figure
does it,
Hollywood
Jason.
models. You know, people are always saying, Nikki, you were like the skinniest girl that's like so hot. It's like I don't want
Like
to
real
be
people?
that.
People in the
Guys,
real
I don't
world?
want to be
Real-
that.
real world?
Okay, I don't
Okay.
want
Wow,
to
Jason.
carry
I
that.
don't know.
That's so I'm gonna eat pancakes. You know, I like
I got
getting
one here.
fat.
Well, speaking of that, someone sends me a lifetime supply of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and then I sing karaoke in this vlog. How did
Wait,
they?
what? You got a lifetime supply of Cinnamon Toast
See,
Crunch?
intriguing. My tweets are intriguing you to go watch that.
Is that
vlog.
true?
It is true.
How did that
it's
come
not
about?
lifetime, actually.
How did it come about?
They
It was a
tried-
lot.
Well, that's a big difference.
It was over 100 boxes, which doesn't sound
What?
like that many, but then it filled up my entire Honda Civic. All the whole trunk, the whole back seat.
It would be a
Nobody-
great video. It's just riding around throwing them at people.
Yeah,
like,
I'm going to give them out to homeless people. I'm pretty sure
let's-
because
They're like
do
cool, no
it.
milk.
so like yeah.
They're gonna be cool, no spoon. But how
There's
did that
no
come
room
about?
in my kitchen.
Like, how did that happen?
Okay, so there's this batch of Cinnamon Toast Crunch came from a particular group of fans that have sent me stuff in the past, but I didn't have a mailing address at the time, so they sent it through Tipsy Bartender, which is a channel that I host on, and they sent a letter with it, and they referenced a video. One of the videos on my channel, I do a Q&A segment every week called Ask Limo, and one of the questions was, if you had 3 wishes, what would they be? And I said, number 1, to eat whatever I want and not gain weight. Number 2, an unlimited supply of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And number 3, $1 billion.
you can't say anything on YouTube.
And so they picked
It's
the
out.
Yeah.
they picked the
So they picked the one that they could do. Yeah.
Yeah, this is I can do this one.
Yeah.
And
Do you know who it
they
is, though?
succeeded. No, they're an anonymous
Anonymous.
group of people. So
Are they like, send me pictures of you eating that? Cinnamon
no,
toast?
they're not creepy at all. It's actually
Oh.
it's half it's guys and girls.
That's actually
there's
you, Jason.
There's
Yeah.
a mixture. I know. The note that you sent me, I got that one.
Yeah, was
and,
that no response to that one?
I did not.
It was at my headshot. It was my hand drawn on it for you to high five me.
I didn't do it. I didn't feel inclined.
What's next for you? Like, what's something we can look for seeing and
Well, right now there's a mixture of things I'm doing. I'm still auditioning for film and television. It's kind of at a dead patch right now, but because it's towards the end of the year. But I'm producing a lot more on my channel and a couple new series. I'm doing self-help and then writing more audition fails and then hosting a couple different projects. I don't know if I can mention any of them, but doing a lot of work on YouTube for bigger companies that are now trying to be involved with the YouTube community, which I knew would happen.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
And you don't want to teach them a
Just
lesson
can't
because
know
you
when
want
you
that money.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Awesome. We want to give a shout out to our friends, the Schmoes Knows podcast. Podcast I was on once. Do a lot of movie reviews. Really cool people. Hopefully we'll be on there soon, right, guys?
I would love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so click on this link. Check out Schmoes Knows. Maybe you get Nikki
Schmoes
Limo.
Knows?
Yeah, you get Nikki Limo on there. You get Shane, and you got Jason. You got Two White Guys podcast. But yeah, I want to thank Nikki Limo. Where can we find you everywhere?
Oh, at Nikki Limo, almost everywhere.
Yeah,
Except for Facebook is official Nikki Limo.
right.
Because
Just to get official.
just
official.
'cause it's official.
If you like this, you hit the like button.
Smash that like
Smash
button.
that like button. Make sure to
Break it.
subscribe so you can see more Two White Guys podcast. Subscribe to Nikki.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Shane. And we will see you next time on the Two White Guys podcast.
See you
Bye.
then. Bye.